Hello everyone, I'm Sean Neighbors, Senior Vice President of Global Offerings here at TaskUs. On this episode today is our first episode in Inside Out. Today we're going to be a high-level overview of some of the general ideas of what you need to look at from an outsourcing perspective. In future episodes, we're going to be really in-depth around each of the different fundamentals of outsourcing. Today we'll talk about what do you look at? What questions should you ask? How do you feel comfortable outsourcing? And in the future, you can have each of your department heads kind of drill down into workforce, recruiting, screening, quality, wellness and resiliency, security, and all sorts of different areas that we're going to build in episode on episode. I'm super excited about Inside Out. I hope you can join us for all the episodes as we go, because this is going to be something for you, and we're just here to help you along the way. Outsourcing is a complicated effort, and it's difficult to give up that ownership, the closeness. You're hiring people you know you're hiring, so therefore you feel comfortable in that, understanding the financial components of it. How am I going to understand, what are the metrics? What am I going to be reported to? How often am I going to be connected? It is difficult, and so we're here to help people understand all those items and make them feel comfortable about this. It is not for everyone. It is for most people, quite honestly, and you can do it better and cheaper and more effective in an outsourced environment. If you do it in-house, absolutely, you've built the knowledge and the frameworks and you share that. But typically, you actually haven't fundamentally, created a foundation of all that information and knowledge in a way that's replicatable. So as you're growing and scaling a business, we're here to take all that knowledge you have internally, put it into a foundation, and make sure it's repeatable so you can scale your business and continue to grow effectively. Yeah, that's a great one. I think, and that's what we really want to tackle here. So we want to tackle what are the challenges that you're going to have so that you'll feel comfortable about making it. How do you share that with your boss? How do you share that with your team? What makes it successful so that all together everyone can make that solution? The biggest one that people come with is how do you hire somebody that is through a third party that I can feel comfortable with? And that we're going to actually have a whole section on how do you screen, identify what the job is, match those skills directly with the outsourced environment, choose a location, choose the cost component that fits within what you're looking for, and then build that in with a training to make sure the output is there. So we're going to cover all those components. But the main one is around loss of control. Like, I don't know who I'm hiring. I don't know what the metrics are. I don't know how connected I'm going to be with that operation. The reality is, most of the time, you get better people because you've identified what those key strengths are that you're hiring for. You get more connection around the metrics because we do this all the time. And so we give you those metrics and connect you all the time with what's happening on a regular basis and regular outcomes. And then you get to choose the location where you're going to get the level of quality and the cost that's the best benefit. So we'll walk through each of those areas, everything from workforce to finance to contract management. All those parts will be kind of uncovered in this series, which is why I'm super excited about doing this overall. Let's be real and raw, and that's what I keep saying here for this session. Actually, I've met with a client, or prospective client, last week, and they do business here in the Philippines with a different vendor. And so they were looking for someone else. They're not happy with that vendor. It's not been successful. They're not happy with the quality, with the retention of the individuals. And so we gave them different options. We gave them a nearshore option, and then we gave them the Philippines. And they were afraid to come back to the Philippines because of the bad experience. And they then came to our site and basically did an audit of all of our processes. How do you do this? How do you train people? What is your security platforms? What is your network privacy components? Like all the different areas. And they walked away saying, you guys are really, you do it well. And so I think the question that you asked, which is like, what are the challenges? The challenges can be if you're not matched up with somebody who has the same culture that you have, and set your expectations for that other outsourcer higher than what you currently do today. I always say that what you should do in an outsourced environment, your quality of the customer service, the metrics that you have should be higher than you're able to deliver today. If you're not getting that, you should go to a different vendor. And I'll tell you that when you search to say, oh, I'm gonna go to a different vendor, the other one's like, oh, I'll fix this. Don't let them fix it. Go to a different vendor. Go to somebody that you can trust. You can walk hand in hand with the things you've learned and the things that you don't like from the previous vendor, and understand, what does the new vendor do? How do they do it differently? Why would I trust them over the previous one? Why would I make this decision to be connected? They're part of you. Your customer service agents should be your agents. They shouldn't be a different vendor's agents. They're yours. They are your brand, your customer. You need to be connected with them, and you need to feel comfortable that you're hiring the right people, you're training them the right way, you're making sure that they're following the policies. Some policies are very critical, compliance driven, and some are all about how do you make that trust and connection with your brand. So make sure that you hold your outsourcer more accountable than you hold your internal people today.